Hello everyone, this is me, Goomba, yet again, back with another tutorial. This time around I'm going to show you how you can patch your PS Vita console and the LittleBigPlanet for the PlayStation Vita to connect to the Beacon custom server. That's right, you can also connect to the Beacon custom server on PlayStation Vita. As you may already know, I just recently got myself a PlayStation Vita for the very first time, and I'm excited to show you the whole process. Much like on a PS3 and PS3 video, it's going to be split into jailbreaking your PlayStation Vita and then patching your copy of LittleBigPlanet for the PlayStation Vita. Then obviously making sure you got all your stuff so the game actually will allow you to play online. So without further ado, let's get right in the video. So first things first, much like with the PS3 tutorial for Beacon, you will need a jailbroken PS Vita. If you haven't done it already, this tutorial is going to cover it. Otherwise, you can skip this part. I'm gonna mention the timestamp where you can actually skip to the point of the part of the video where I actually patch the game itself. But for now, this part is going to focus on jailbreaking the PS Vita if you haven't done so already. Now, obviously, big disclaimer, you are technically breaking the terms of service of PlayStation Vita and PSN if you decide to jailbreak the PS Vita. There is going to be part of the video covered how to make sure that you do not get accidentally banned on PSN and everything. And obviously, I'm gonna put a disclaimer here that I am not taking any responsibility for any of the damage done to your PSN account nor your PS Vita. And with that out of the way, you obviously need to power on a PS Vita. Also, another suggestion from me is that you should make sure you have the PS Vita powered on charging, just in case, as just a safety measure, in case if your PS Vita ended up like dying, running out of the battery. So, this would interrupt the, jailbreaking process. So now that my PS Vita is charging, I'm just gonna unblock the PS Vita. I'm just gonna swipe it out. Okay, and before you do any of the jailbreaking, I highly recommend you to go to the system settings, scroll down till you get the power save settings, and then make sure you send my mode activation after the longest possible time duration. So in this case, it's going to be 30 minutes. The reason why I'm saying this is that while you're downloading Vita Deploy, and if you happen to have like a slow download speed for whatever reason, you may want to avoid Vita, eventually going to sleep while downloading the Vita Deploy, because I've had that happen once and I had to hard reboot the PS Vita, so I had to do it all over again. So this just ensures that PS Vita will not get into standby mode while downloading the necessary stuff. Now that you're done with the settings, you can just close out of the settings right here. There's plenty of other methods. I'm just going to showcase the one that is the quickest, the easiest, and for this you need to have internet access for the PS Vita, so you can actually go and use the browser, which is kind of like a main point of the jailbreaking tutorial right here. So first things first, you will need to head over to the browser folder right here. You will need to open it, and if the bookmark is going to open up automatically, just close them right here or just press circle, and then you need to enter in the address bar this following URL, which is http://deploy.psp2 and then .dev. And then you hit enter. You will see this page, and you need to go ahead and click unlock my Vita. And then you're going to see this message here about to launch the HEN.io jailbreak. And then we need to click unlock again. Here it is, we got the handle bootstrap. Once you're in this menu, the next step is going to be to press down on the B pad and then select with the X button install Henkaku. There it is. Now once that is done, depending on if your PS Vita 1000 model has a memory card or not. If it does, if it's the official memory card, you can choose install Vita Deploy. If your PS Vita doesn't have an official memory card, you can go and use this replace near with Vita Deploy option instead. Since I already have the memory card installed on my PS Vita, I'm just going to choose install Vita Deploy. It's going to download Vita Deploy, and once that is downloaded, you can now head back to the live area, or you have to press X. And then once you are back to the live area, you go to the settings, then hit X to start. And then you have this thing called Henkaku settings. So once you're in Henkaku settings, you can see that there's two settings that are already checked: enable PSN spoofing and enable version spoofing. You should leave that by default, especially considering that we're going to move on to connecting via PSN to connect to the Beacon custom servers. So these two things are important to be left checked. Also, on top of that, we are also going to install some custom apps to PS Vita as well to continue with our process of jailbreaking. So for this, we need to check this setting to enable unsafe homebrew. And now once that you have this checked, then you press circle to go back to the settings, press PS button to exit out of the settings page, and then either swipe down or hold the circle button to close out of the settings completely. And then once you're back to live area, you will need now to scroll down to something that is called Vita Deploy. This is the very thing that we've just installed using our browser. So we hit X to get on the Vita Deploy, hit X again to start the application, and this should move you to the Vita Deploy page right here. So now, once you're in the Vita Deploy page, you need to scroll down to this setting right here, which is install a different OS. You hit X. Then you have this very first setting that says quick 3.65 install. We're going to go ahead and install this 3.65 update. This is our custom firmware that we're going to install. As you can see, it's gonna download it. Okay, so once that is over, you're going to see this screen right here, and down here it says you want to downgrade from firmware 3.74 to firmware 3.65. We're gonna go ahead and press X to confirm, and once again this is a message popping up that basically saying that this change is permanent, and if anything happens your PS Vita might be bricked. So as you comply to this message and wait 20 seconds, we're gonna go ahead and click and press X once again to accept these terms and start the installation. And this is gonna move us to the system update. And as you can see, it starts installing the system update. It's basically the same as usual when you are installing the update for the PS Vita. So this will go through, and then after that the PS Vita is going to restart. Okay, so once that you have the custom firmware installed, you're gonna have to go ahead and scroll down once again to Vita Deploy, and then hit start. Okay, so once you're in the Vita Deploy settings page, you're gonna need to scroll down to app downloader section. You press X, and then down here you select ITLS installer. You select that, you go up, and then you hit download the selected apps. You press X on that option. Once again, it's going to download the necessary stuff. This time it's actually gonna take quicker because ITLS is actually a little smaller than the overall custom firmware. Now it says that all apps have been successfully installed. You can now exit this app, press PS button, and then swipe from right to close Vita Deploy. Now we have this thing ITLS ENSO. We're going to use this to install ITLS. We hit X again to open this up, and then we press X to choose this first setting, install the full ITLS package. And after that is done, it's going to restart our PS Vita console once again. As you can see, it's going to reboot. And once that is done, once the PS Vita is restarted, we're gonna unlock it. And then now the next part is going to be making sure that the latest version of the PS Vita firmware does not get automatically downloaded and installed. So for this you need to go into settings, hit start, and then down here you need to go to system, and then auto start settings, here at X, and then you need to uncheck this setting, download update file for system software. You're gonna have to uncheck this one, and once that is done, you're gonna have to press circle to go back to the first page of settings. Now you scroll back up once again for the Henkaku settings, and if you wanna play on PSN safely, you're gonna need to make sure that you have those two settings that I've already mentioned, PSN spoofing and version spoofing. And now we need to spoof your Henkaku custom firmware version, so on PSN it shows up as the latest version. So for this you press X. By default this is going to say 3.73. You're going to need to make sure that this needs to be changed to the latest version of the original Sony's hardware firmware. On the moment of making this video, the latest version right now is 3.74, so you're gonna have to edit it. So it is going to be 3.74. We press enter to confirm. confirm our modified setting. It says right here it's 3.74. Come back out, and now we actually save to connect with our PlayStation Network account on this PS Vita. And now that you've done with this important setting, you're gonna now need to close out of the settings once again. And now you're gonna need to go to the Vita deploy and then go back to the app downloader, which we used last time to install ITLS. Now here we go down to download and install Vita Shell instead. And so now we check this box right here to select Vita Shell, and then we go back up and we press X on download the selected apps. And it's going to bring this black screen once again and install Vita Shell. Once that is downloaded, it says right here it's downloaded. We can press PS to exit out of the Vita deploy. Once again, close it all together. And now we have the icon right here with Vita Shell. And now we open the Vita Shell app. So now once that you're on a Vita Shell, we're gonna have to go ahead and select UX0, then to downloads. And then we have those two applications that we've just downloaded. So we press X on ITLS. We confirm with the X button once again to install this package. And we confirm once again that when you wanna install our stuff. Once that is done. Now, installing Vita Shell.vpk may be optional, especially if you follow my tutorial, because if you see, I'm running Vita Shell 2.02, which is currently the latest version. So if you have the latest version of Vita Shell already, you don't need to install, because if you try to install the latest version on top of the latest version, so you press X, it's just going to display an error. So if you already have the latest version, this error is gonna pop up. For this, you don't need to worry about anything. You can just delete those VPK files once that you've done installing those both applications. So for this, you highlight it with a green text, press triangle, and then you scroll down to this option delete. Press X and press X again to confirm deleting. And you can do the same thing with vitashell.vpk. We press triangle, delete, yes, and there we have it. We have those two apps successfully installed. You can get off the Vita Shell now. And there we have it. We have successfully jailbroken our PS Vita. And for the next steps, I'm actually going to install the plugin, which actually lets me stream the screen of PS Vita directly to my PC, so it's going to be a little bit easier for you guys to watch it. I'm not gonna cover this in the video, but in case if you're interested in installing this plugin so you can actually have the screen over to your PC, then I highly suggest watching this video that I provided down in the link in the description. But now I'm gonna move on to actually patching LittleBigPlanet for the PlayStation Vita so we can actually connect to the custom server. Now in this next part of this tutorial, we're going to actually patch our game so we actually can play on a Beacon custom server on LittleBigPlanet on PS Vita. So for this, you will need to go open up the browser on your PC, visit the page from my description, the kit coupling for all the plugin 2. You hit enter. You will have this download link right here for all the plugin 2.vpk. So you're gonna have to click on that to download it. I'm just gonna put it on the desktop. There it is, it's downloaded. And now we have this auto plugin to VPK right here. So now we're gonna want to transfer this file over to PS Vita. There's two ways to do it. One which is over USB by connecting the PS Vita directly to your PC using the USB cable, or by using FTP. I'm just gonna show you the USB method because it's easier. For this, we're gonna move on to our PS Vita right here. So for this, we're gonna need to go back to our Vita Shell right here and then hit start. Okay, so once you're in a Vita Shell, you need to press start to go into this menu right here, and you want to make sure that the select button function is USB. Okay, so we hit circle, and now we need to press select so we can actually enable USB transfer over to Vita. So we press select. And here it's going to say it's going to say that the USB is connected. In case if there's an error, make sure you have a correct storage selected. Now we go back to my PC, and now you can see we have our Vita folder selected. Now you just simply need to drag and drop the downloaded Vita or the plugin to your root directory. Now on our PS Vita, we press circle to cancel. Now we can go back to our target root directory for our PS Vita, UX0, and if you scroll down, we're going to see auto plugin to .vpk. And just like last time, we're reinstalling our apps for jailbreaking our PS Vita. We hit X to confirm installing our package. So now you can actually close out of the Vita shell. And now you need to go to auto plugin 2. We hit start. For the very first time, auto plugin is going to automatically update all the necessary plugins. Once you actually have this auto plugin 2 menu open right here, you're going to need to install 2 plugins that are required for our patching procedure. So we can actually like patch your LittleBigPlanet PS Vita copy, so you can actually call it the beacon. So for this, you go to install plugins, and then first you need to install 0 syscall 6. We press OK. Seems like it's already installed. So if it says that it's already installed, then you'll have to install it. But just in case, select and make sure that it is installed. And now we scroll down till we get repatch. And we got those 3 files right here. We're gonna go with the latest one. And we press X to install. Has been installed. We got the 2 necessary plugins installed, and now we need to go back. We need to restart our PS Vita so it will actually apply those plugins. So we press X to restart. So once our PS Vita is restarted, we need to go back to our Vita shell once again, because we are going to download now yet another VPK file so we can actually patch our game. So we hit start. We'll do the same thing as last time where we enable our USB transfer over to PS Vita. So we press select. We have this right here, and then now we need to open up yet another GitHub page. So I'm gonna link down in the description. And from this GitHub link, we're going to need to go to the right side of here to go to releases, and then we need to download the source code. Okay, and once that we have our retools zip file downloaded, we open it up, and then we open up this folder right here. We go to FAG then we go to build, and then we need to insert our VPK file to our Vita. And once we have that, we once again go back to our Vita to install this VPK file. And now that we have our VPK file uploaded again, we go back by pressing circle. And then once again we go to our storage, and then we scroll down till we find our fagdeck.vpk file that we just uploaded to our PS Vita. We press X to install, we press X again, and we have it installed. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do after we install fagdeck, we need to exit out of Vita shell, and we ignore that we just installed this application. We're gonna open it later. For now, we need to now make sure that LittleBigPlanet PS Vita is up to date. For this, we need to press X, and we press this icon right here to check for updates. If the PS Vita is going to detect that there's updates available for this game, there's going to be like a button to the left, and then this option to the left is going to show up, and then we click on it, and then it's going to say that the new version of the application is available. We click download, and then we just wait till downloads. We can check the download status on the right upper corner right here. If you click on it, yeah, it's going to say, depending on like the download speed, it's going to say how much time is going to left to download. And once that it says waiting to install, you can just click on the option, and then we'll proceed to installing the updates, and then we'll automatically start the game. So you don't want to do it yet, so just close the game altogether for now. And now, once that you made sure and you actually successfully installed the latest version of the LittleBigPlanet PlayStation Vita, we need to go over to the French American Games Decryptor, which is the VPK file that we just installed. We go ahead and press start, and in here we need to go to one of those titles being found. It should say LittleBigPlanet PlayStation Vita right here, so we press X, and then we need to find the one which says the eboot.bin file, and then we need to press X. And we also need to remember the game serial right here. In my case, it's as you can see, it's a PCSF00021, and that is a physical European copy of LittleBigPlanet PS Vita. In your case, it might be different depending on the region and depending on if your game copy is digital or physical. And yeah, we need to write it down somewhere, memorize it, because you're going to need it in the future. We press circle to go back to the main menus, and then we need to go up here to this option, decrypt modules and list. We press X on that, and very important, you want to make sure that you select start decrypt self. And then we scroll down here, and then once it says done, you can go back to the main menus and close out of this app. right here. So now we can either use the Vita shell to grab this file off of the Vita here, or we can use the FTP. I'm going to use the FTP from now on. So for this, so if you want to enable FTP sharing, you need to go to Vita shell back again, and to enable FTP access, we need to press start, and then you need to switch select button option as FTP, and then we press select to start the FTP server. Now that we got our FTP server running, we can go back to our PC and then use the FTP client of our choice. In my case, this is going to be FileZilla. So this is FileZilla right here. And for this, we need to insert the IP address and the port number that is conveniently shown to us right here on the Vita shell screen right now. So we can just write it down here in the server address field. And then we use quick connect. We accept the warning that the FTP over TLS is not supported. We click OK. And we got access to our file system and our PS Vita. So now we need to get to the directory UX0. We expand that folder. Then we need to go to FAGTech directory, and then you need to expand this patch directory. And then you have this PCSF00021 folder, which is the games file of LittleBigPlanet PS Vita copy, from which we just decrypted our eboot.bin file. So here we got the eboot.bin file. We need to save it onto our PC. So I'm just gonna drag and drop this eboot.bin file over here to my desktop. And now we need to go back to our browser yet again. We're gonna use yet another link from the description from my video, which is going to be a link for the GitHub page for the Vita Unmake Self. We select this file, and then we need to click this icon to the right side right here, and then click download. And we're gonna download it to our desktop once again. Once we have it downloaded. So now that we have it downloaded, say on desktop, you will need to access this directory on the Explorer. So I'm gonna go over to desktop right here, and then on the address bar, we're gonna have to type in cmd, and then we press enter, and we need to type in vita-unmake-fself and then eboot.bin. We need to make sure that eboot.bin is on the exactly same location as the executable file that we just downloaded, which is that vita-unmake-fself, and then we hit enter, and then it should say using original ELF header, and if it says that, then you have successfully generated this ELF file right here. And now we're going to need this file so we can actually patch it using the UnionPatcher. Once again, I'm gonna link the download link for the UnionPatcher down in the description. So we open up this link, and then we download the version depending on which operating system we have. When in our case it's Windows, so we're going to download win-x64. Click save. We open up the zip file, and then we unpack this publish folder right here. It can be dragged and dropped into the desktop as usual. Then we open up this folder, and we need to look for the file which has the LBP icon on it. Or if you have the file extension, you just need to look for the file which says .exe at the end. So we need to run this application. In case if this error pops up, well, that means we need to install .NET. We hit yes, and it's going to redirect to the download page of the .NET runtime, and then we hit to download, and then we install it just like the any other Windows application. As you can see, it's successfully installed. So if we click on this again, as you can see, this window pops up. And then you need to select the option File Patch. Now we got these three fields right here. For the first one, where it says eboot.elf, we need to click Browse and then point to the unencrypted elf file, which is right here on our desktop. We select it and then press Open. In the server URL field, we need to type in the HTTP URL for a custom server that we want to connect to. In our case, it's going to be Beacon. That I'm also gonna put down in the description. It's going to be this URL right here, and then output file name, we need to click browse, and then we can also save it in the desktop but under a different name. So for example, eboot.lighthouse.elf, and then we click save, and then we click patch. And if you have this window, then it means it has successfully patched our ELF file. If that happens, then congrats, we can close out of this window now. Now that we have successfully patched our ELF file, we need to encrypt it back to the bin file. So for this, we need to go ahead and visit yet another link that I'm gonna once again put down in the description. And again, same as last time, we click vita-elf-inject.exe, and on the right side, we click those three dots, and then we click download. Same as usual. usual, we can save it in our desktop once we downloaded that. And then once again we go back to the command prompt by entering cmd inside the address bar in the folder that we have all those bin or elf files. So we hit enter, and now we need to type in vita-elf-inject, and then we need to type in eboot.lighthouse.elf or any other name of the file that we specified while patching the elf file using the UnionPatcher, and then space eboot.bin, and it should say compressed to diff size, and you got a bunch of numbers and letters. And if it says that, then we have successfully encrypted back our eboot.bin file, so we can close out of the command prompt once more. Now we need to place this eboot.bin file back to our PS Vita. For this, we are once again going to use our FTP client, which is FileZilla, and then we once again connect to the FTP server that the Vita shell provides. And then once we're back in, we are once again going to go to our root file system in our PS Vita, which is UX0. And then in the root directory, we're going to need to right click and then create a directory. And this new directory needs to be precisely written as repatch, all small caps with the exception of the P. This is going to be a capital letter P. You have to type this exactly this way, otherwise it won't work. So now you click OK. This directory is created. We double click on it to enter it, and then right click inside of this directory to create another one. And in here we need to type in the game serial that we've just memorized. This is the one that we got while using the FAG deck application. So in our case it's going to be DCSF000 to 1. We click OK. Our directory is created, and inside this directory we're going to insert this eboot.bin file right here. Once that is done, you can close out of FileZilla, and then we can go back to our PS Vita. We can press circle to cancel the FTP server, and then we can close out of the Vita shell. And now we can actually boot into the game now. And obviously, much like in LittleBigPlanet 1 and 2, in LittleBigPlanet Vita, you need to beat the first chapter to unlock the full online functionality. So as you can see here, and you got settings, and all the tabs regarding online features are grayed out. So for this, you need to obviously beat the first chapter first, which I am about to do. And then once you beat the first chapter, if you don't have it already, you also will need to have a network pass. So if you're like me and bought a used copy of LittleBigPlanet PS Vita, you most likely don't have it. So in order to get a network pass, you would have to exit out of the game and go to PlayStation Store, and then you need to search LittleBigPlanet and preferably type in network pass as well. Here it is, the network pass right here, and then we need to download it. So here it is, we've just downloaded our network pass. It's waiting for install, so we tap it on the LittleBigPlanet Vita, and we launch the game. So now, once we launch the game and skip past the intros, and here it is, we got the LittleBigPlanet PS Vita EULA. So if you got this screen, that means you successfully connected to the beacon. You can hit accept and then press X on the announcement. So if I tap in the community, you can see we got access to team pics and cool levels. Seems like it's taking a while to load up any levels. It could be due to my poor network right now. But here it is. We got access to all kinds of levels that Beacon offers right here. So here it is. This is how you configure your PS Vita and mod your LittleBigPlanet PS Vita copy in order to connect to the Beacon custom server. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you found this tutorial helpful. Leave a comment if you have any questions. I'll try to answer. When you have any difficulty on setting up the patch or just jailbreaking your PS Vita. And subscribe for more content and maybe for more tutorials to come. And once again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya, guys. Okay, in here you need to type in http:// I suck at this, okay. But yeah, let's try it again. And then deploy.psp. Why? This is actually making me piss off. Okay, one more take. We press X. We press X again to confirm installing. We once again press X to confirm installing. And error. I wonder why. Well, technically speaking, I already have the Vita shell because I just opened it, I suppose. Let me try and install it again. Wait a second. And then we'll just then we'll proceed to installing encrypted back our edu. Well, we're getting the cross-buy newsflash. I mean, we can click OK on that one, and there's no problem occurred, so I don't think I patched it correctly.